Got to put on my podcast face. Unique
Unique
New
New
York.
York. Aluminum linoleum. How now, proud cow.
Welcome in, everybody, to the second episode here on the After Hours podcast. Mr. Jay Gilbert with my lovely host, Schmitty32, about to
Welcome.
bring you all the things and the stuffs.
Mostly stuffs.
I believe so. Schmitty, I'm going to take it away. Who are you, in case they're first-time viewers?
Welcome on in. If you're not familiar with who I am, I'm Schmitty32, a variety streamer. I do play a lot of New World and Diablo 4 content, so if that sounds good to you, I'm here. We also play Stream Raiders and catch the Pokemons, and usually have some charity events going on. Today is the last day of our Breast Cancer Can Stick It Foundation, where we've been trying to raise $250 this month.
Excellent. Well, good luck to you, man. And everybody, please get in on that. He always runs a lot of charities throughout the year. The shop is going to be one for right now, so definitely get in on that. I am Mr. Jay Gilbert. I am a teacher by day, streamer by night, and basically I just get hard carries through every game that I play.
Facts.
And that's basically my thing. All right, man. Are you ready for episode 2 of the After Hours
Episode
podcast?
2? Is it ready for us, man? I don't know. We're about to break the internet chat 2 weeks in a row.
Are we sponsored yet?
Some of us might be affiliated with things.
Gosh, you and Asmongold just getting computers left and right.
I want to know what's going on. There must be some like big WoW thing going on, because I saw there was 87,000 people watching some like original World of Warcraft something today.
There is. So like Asmongold and who is the big hairy guy that's in his like OTK?
Oh yeah, I don't know that guy. The guy kind of looks like Ron Jeremy a little bit.
But you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah. I don't know his name. I don't follow him or anything.
Right. He put on this like $100,000 like Majorca or Macorca or whatever, like WoW like tournament where people had a certain amount of time to basically prepare and build a character, and then it was like a battle royale type of thing.
Right.
So they kind of put on this tournament.
I was just like, there was something going on.
Right.
I'm not a WoW person. I want to be though.
Same. In here. All right, man. First topic of the day. We're always starting off with what's on your mind. So, Schmitty, what's on your mind today?
Oh, what's on my mind? I just hit World Tier 4 in Diablo 4. So my focus, I'm on a unique grind in Diablo at the moment. I'm all in, dude. I've cannonballed. I'm lubed up. I'm greased up. I'm ready to slip on in, man. But I've been really into the season 2, Season of the Blood of Diablo 4. Been really into the grind and stuff on that. They've done a lot of good things, and I'm all about the uber unique farm. And with that in New World as well, I'm trying to figure out how to craft a lot of stuff. So that's kind of where a lot of my brain is just the 2 games that I like to play. There's a lot of mechanics and just stuff that I need to learn.
You're gonna get there. The greatest healer in New World, as far as I'm concerned. But that was a different game.
We're working on it. With the greatest DPS in New World. We'll get me there. Thank you, Gray and Jovar.
Wow. Excuse me, I'm right here. I'm literally right here.
Oh, it's Mr. J. He's always swinging his big sword around.
Dang it, dude! Unbelievable, man. What's on my mind?
I was just about to say what's going on in your mind, dude. What you been rolling around?
I don't know if I told you about this. I don't know if I messaged you or who. But a couple days ago, my wife and I, for the very first time, just started TV show Yellowstone. It's like 4 seasons in now, and like
that's all she's talking about right now. Is when are we starting Yellowstone?
Oh my god, I'm like 2 episodes in, and I'm hooked.
Dude, I've heard really great things. I've heard
2 episodes in, and I'm hooked.
Who's that? Is that what Dennis Quaid or Kevin
Costner?
Okay, I was like, I get a mix. So this is Dancing with Wolves, man. This is
right. And it's like Kevin Costner plays that role. He's built for that type of role, like the cowboy, like on a ranch or whatever, like riding horses. Like that's literally Kevin Costner's role.
Yeah, I just want to talk about how the actor who played Robin Hood back in the 1500s and stuff is now doing stuff over in the Yellowstone, the AT. I mean, we're talking vampires, maybe.
He will live forever,
dude. I'm scared. Kevin Costner might be immortal.
Either that, or he has a time machine.
Maybe both. Maybe he has an immortal time machine.
Is he from the future? And he just goes back to like doing all these things to
do these movies. I mean, that's as far as I know, these are facts. As far as I know, these are facts.
Yeah, but yeah, that's on my mind, man. I'm hooked. I can't wait to watch episode 3.
Nice.
But all right, time for our discussion topics, good sir. I'm just gonna get it out of the way because I want it over with, and I want to
Uh-huh.
move on.
I think I know where we're going with this.
I want to move on to a different subject and forget
Just
about
rip
it
the
as soon as
Band-Aid off.
possible.
Rip
Yep.
the Band-Aid off. Let's go.
The 49ers lost 3 in a row.
They suck. They're
We
worst
lost.
football team in the NFL.
We lost to the Bengals. First time we've given up 30 points all season. Is to the Bengals, and we are just on an epic slump right now.
Can't win
Just
them all.
a downhill slide. And honestly, I think at this point, because we have so many good players, like on
Right.
both sides of the football, that it's coaching at this point. Like, we got to get our coaching shit figured out. Like play calling, scheming, preparing, something.
Yeah,
Because there's
I
no
was gonna
way.
ask, was there something just not like clicking? It like because I think the offense, like I feel like they're still playing well. Is the defense just giving up the big plays?
Yeah, we can't stop anybody.
And it's just yeah.
Yeah. So, and I've been obviously trying to like read and like watch the watch like interviews and stuff of the players. What
Right.
what I'm gathering is Steve Wilkes, our defensive coordinator, he's actually a DB coach, a defensive backs
Mm-hmm.
coach.
Mm-hmm.
So he's built for pass defense, right? Is his like
Right.
forte. Well, the Niners were built for the front seven. Our defensive line and linebackers are the strength of our defense. We rush the quarterback. We get them in bad situations where they need to throw the ball quickly, and then those bad throws, our defensive backs can react to it.
Right.
Well, he's putting our linebacking core and everybody else in pass defense, and our rush, like our front four,
Yeah.
isn't getting there because they don't have the support from like blitzes and things like that. So like Cousins and Burrow are having all day to just throw the ball and pick us apart.
So it's the defensive coordinator. It's just there's
I think
some
so.
like hiccup, lack of communication. There's just
Mhm.
something not quite clicking between the coaching on the defensive side and the players. Because as you said, they have the tools, they have the weapons, and they they started out really great. And yeah, these last 3 games, I don't know what has changed. What just doesn't seem to be clicking like it was before.
Yeah, and I think it's just coaching. But we have our bye week right now, and at the trade deadline, we just signed Chase Young, which is a big time defensive end from the Commanders.
Uh-huh.
He was like a second overall pick in like
Who-
2 or 3 drafts ago.
Who was it that the Vikings just picked up? Because Kirk Cousins tore his Achilles.
Yeah. So Cousins, he's gone. They picked up Dodds, the quarterback
Okay,
from
yeah, I saw a brief
Yeah,
message about
Romeo
it this
Dodds
morning.
or
We had
whatever.
some
Yeah.
errands we had to run and stuff.
But yeah, so we just got Chase Young. So we'll already have Young and Bosa on the edges. Like if we suck after the break, like we're done. There's no way with our personnel we're gonna suck. But who knows?
Right.
Who knows?
Yeah,
All right.
the Eagles have been on a pretty good streak right now. We've been on a pretty good streak. I'm hoping to continue. The defense is just. When do we play? Is that sometime this month? Is that November?
13th, week 13.
Okay, because I gotta make sure that I
Yeah, week
take
13.
some time off for something there, dude. I gotta make sure that
Well, you started talking about it. The Eagles. Let's talk about your Eagles Commanders game. They kind of gave you a scare there at the beginning.
at the beginning but honestly, the only real I feel like the real because we lost to them before. Wasn't that our only loss?
No, you beat them in overtime.
Okay, I was gonna say it was a really close game. I remember
Yeah.
the only other time we played the
Yep.
Commanders, I was like, that was one of the few real challenges that I felt like we had really faced yet this season.
Yep.
And I was like, I didn't think the Commanders were supposed to be coming out swinging like that, but their defense has been looking pretty tough. We squeaked some stuff out, and it's just for all the turnovers and stuff that we've had so far this season, it's 100% been our defense, not only holding them to limited yards and doing really well, but they've been really effective themselves on turning the ball over. In fact, I think there was another, 2 interceptions or something during the Commanders game. Our defense has just been dominating, and that it's really what has pushed us to the record we have right now. We should have probably at least 1 or 2 more losses under our belt, but our defense is just stacked. And AJ Brown, dude, you see that one-handed catch he did? In the end
No,
zone?
no,
It was
but
insane.
I
I
did
mean,
see a
I could have done
stat.
it. I could have done it, but he did a pretty good job. He did a pretty good job.
I did see a stat. He tied a record that Calvin Johnson previously had, Megatron, from the
Yeah.
Lions. He
Yeah.
tied a record of Calvin Johnson's with the sixth straight game with over 125 yards receiving.
Dude, he's been him and Jalen,
Jesus.
they've been on a roll lately, man. They've been
Yeah.
connecting and it feels good. It feels good.
Yep. And you've always talked about your defense a lot. What
Hmm.
last week or whatever you signed that Baird or Bayard or
Yeah.
the safety from the Titans.
Yeah.
So it's like, wow, you got another defensive piece. So that's always great.
It's every time I turn around, it's like we signed some other amazing
Yeah.
defensive player.
Yep.
It's
Last
been incredible.
last topic in the NFL spectrum, and we gotta talk about this because the Niners are on the bye week. Okay, so
Okay.
we don't play next week, but I think game of the week next week has to be Cowboys Eagles.
It's gonna be a good one.
Cowboys are playing tough right now. They're playing
You know,
real tough.
imagine if
Why?
they had an actual quarterback instead of
True.
Prescott,
True.
That's what I worry about is it's like, when are they going to wise up and get somebody better behind the steering wheel,
Yes.
dude?
Dude,
Because
rivalry
yeah, they've been
game.
they've been we were building for so long, and I feel like we finally hit our streak. But I do feel like the Commanders. I feel like last year,
Mm-hmm.
especially getting rid of Wentz, that was one of the best things they've done in the recent
Yep.
history, dude.
Yep.
That was great. But I feel our division really ramping up. It's going to be a tough one this year. I didn't think it was going to be as tough as it is, but people are coming out to play, and it's
My,
exciting, man. And I'm always like, best team win, dude. I just want it to be a good game,
minus the Jets, of course. Or
unless
not
we're
Jets.
talking about the Kansas City
Minus.
Thieves, just
I meant minus the Giants. Isn't the Giants in your division?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So minus them because they're
Who are they
garbage.
anymore? Who are they even still a football team?
It's a practice squad.
Yeah, isn't that in Toronto or something? I think.
Might as well be.
You
Kick them out.
know?
Kick them out.
Oh my god.
Dude, let's talk sports. What do you think? Not sports. Let's talk video
I was like,
games.
we just did
We
that.
just
All
did.
right,
I
all
know.
right. Which
Let's talk video games.
what do you want to start with? God, there's a
Uh,
couple things we can talk about.
well, I mean, I'm an Apex Legends
Okay,
main.
okay. I think I saw you. I think
as
I
you
saw
know.
a title with something like that recently. About an Apex main.
So the biggest thing that I'm excited for, season 19 that's coming out, actually just drops today. Uh,
Okay.
they have a new legend coming out, Conduit. It's kind of like a Lifeline Watson like
I
mix.
saw that. I saw that.
So she looks kind of cool, but I'm excited for cross progression because I have an heirloom for Bloodhound on my PlayStation account that I haven't been able to ever get, and now I'll get my heirloom back.
Dead console.
I actually had a question with Apex Legends. Well, I didn't have a question. It does come from Voice 23. It
Okay.
says, "Will season 19 ignite?" This is the focus of the season, the name of it. And cross progression save Apex. Do you think this is where like Apex kind of turns the corner and becomes like one of the main BRs?
So I guess for me, in my opinion, I didn't realize maybe there was a decline
Sure.
in Apex. I've always thought it was kind of one of the most popular. I mean, of course, you have Valorant and Overwatch, but I thought Valorant, Overwatch, Apex, I thought that was like the trifecta.
Uh huh.
And I think going with this cross progression, it could only help. When I first started playing Apex, I have like all of my stuff on my original Xbox One, but I'm like, I don't want to use that anymore to play because it sucks. Especially once you go PC. So it's like, I'm kind of excited that if I were to hop back in and on PC, that all the stuff that I had collected through about the year and a half that I played Apex, that it would all be all right there. And that's exciting. I
Kind
do
of
like that.
continuing that like, will it help the game thing? You never really got into Fortnite, did you much?
No, I've always been a little curious once they got rid of building. That was always my biggest complaint on
Mm-hmm.
Fortnite. I hated the building. It was not my tempo. And I've always kind of wanted to go back and check out the no build mode, but I just have never been
No.
huge into a lot of BRs, and the only one that I ever really got into was Apex. There was just I don't
Right.
know, something about that one I really clicked with. I do like it.
Right. Yeah, yeah. A community question from ECJ was the new season of Fortnite is basically a return to the OG theme. So like the original map and like gameplay style from like when
Okay.
Fortnite very first launched, like
Yeah,
all
right.
those years ago. So like return to the OG or something like that's kind of like its theme.
Patch
Do you-
1.1, dude.
my take first, and then you can kind of say what you think of it. I think Fortnite's one of those games that will always stick around because it caters to like 12-year-olds.
Yeah, it's definitely.
So like it'll always stick around. And I think now they're just with this return to the OG thing, they literally just have to come up with any gimmick they can just to have a new season.
Well, most things in that are done for them. I mean, look at this. There was like the Marvel stuff was going on, so you had like the Infinity Gauntlet
Mm-hmm.
saga, and then you had like the Dragon Ball. That's the great thing about that is they can take whatever is popular in that kind of demographic, and they can pedal, they can do like a season event or something around that, and it'll be around for forever.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Fortnite has maybe lost a little bit. I don't. Does Ninja still do like Fortnite stuff?
Yeah, he does.
Trying to think if there's still like really big
Yeah.
yeah, streamers on that.
I mean, like Cypher PK was one of the biggest ones that really never did Fortnite. Ninja still does, but Ninja streams on like 5 different platforms now. So like
Yeah, isn't he like
he just take turns and like streams on like 5 different platforms.
yeah, he's like 28 now. He needs diapers to play.
Yeah, he's done. He's done.
I'm halfway in a coffin at this point.
Oh man, another game that obviously literally everybody in the world knows that we're sweats at is New World, and
I
not
thought for sure you were gonna say Diablo.
yeah I say we are
Yeah,
sweats, yeah, right.
we.
You were actually on New World earlier today. What's the
I
mutations?
was.
What's the mutations this week?
So we are running with the Barnacles and Black Powder,
Hmm.
which are what are they? Lost enemies, I think,
They're
down there.
lost. Yep, yep.
And we will be running Void down there, so enemies will have a 50% of their damage done as Void. So you will want the Amethyst, the purple ones today. Will be really nice. Otherwise, aside from that, it is Enid way up there in Brimstone Sands, where you
Yeah.
will have the Ancients with some Corrupted, and everything will be nature up there this time. So you will want your oh, it's not the Topaz. What's the other yellow one? The
Damn, I was gonna say Topaz for sure. Are you sure it's not Topaz? Is that Lightning?
Topaz might be lightning. But yeah, it's good to be doing nature, so that's what
Yeah.
you're going to want to do. And yeah, they're ancients and corrupted enemies. I ran a few earlier today, and it's interesting. I find the end boss to be a little difficult.
Of the
Especially if you don't have
Ennead one?
you know how you have
Yeah.
like the 4 pillars and everything back
Yeah.
there, and it's like
Yep.
as everyone knows their role and does their thing, it's not too bad, but it's like you have one weak link, it can make or break the boss.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it can be a tough one.
Yeah. The whole thing revolves around the pillars. If you don't time those correctly, that's all hell breaks loose. Like you're not going to be able to stop the bosses. So you need to have everybody knowing what they're doing
Yeah, yeah.
to do
I
that.
found that just like Tempest, it's like people got to be on the same page going into some certain bosses in those battles, especially when you start getting to the mutated like 2 and 3.
Yeah.
You got to kind of know what's going on, but they do have the ancient coatings and stuff like that as well. So don't forget in your stash
Yeah.
you do have the potions and stuff that you can take to get a 10% damage reduction against certain enemy types, and those definitely can come in clutch when doing the harder expeditions, along with foods that can boost your stuff for again about 40 minutes or so.
Because all the Bane and Ward gear are gone,
Yep.
so it's
All
it's
done
now
through
those
potions and
potions.
stuff
Yep.
now. Yeah, yeah. Which
So
at first I
grind
was like, but I don't know. Now there might not be hopefully as much grinding for certain gear,
Mhm.
where it
Mhm.
was fun, but hopefully this will expedite the process, especially those that of us that don't have 10 hours a day, 7 days a week to grind for this stuff. It's like shit, I got like 2 hours. What can I do quick?
Will you quit your job already and just play
I'm
video games full
trying.
time?
I'm trying. I literally all my free time I play video games. This is the goal. This is
Work
the green screen. That's how professional I am now.
work is overrated. Can we
It
just
is
quit?
100%. Let's do it.
Um. So I don't want to take a turn for the sadness here. Take a turn for kind of have a sad part of it, but we gotta talk about it.
We
because
do.
it's
It's big news.
one of the biggest news that's happening right now.
Yeah.
And Matthew Perry passed away.
He gone.
Were you
Not
ever
forgotten.
a Friends
I
fan?
was not really as the show, but one of my absolute first crushes was Courtney Cox. If you're watching, if you ever see this, I'm a I'm available.
I mean, what?
So I watched it. I just remember Courtney Cox, but a very big show. Very big show.
Yeah,
I was into Seinfeld.
Yeah, my wife was a huge Friends fan. Matthew Perry is Chandler, right? Wasn't that his character?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And I watched it here and there, but man,
Yeah, right. It was something that I would be at like somebody's place and I'd watch it, but I don't think I ever actively like sat down and watched seasons of it.
Yeah, my wife
Not
was
like
a huge
X-Files,
fan.
dude. I've watched X-Files start to finish like 10 times, dude.
Yeah,
Love that show. I'll watch it again.
Obviously, Friends wasn't the only thing that he did, but man, that was probably his biggest role, what people know him from, the most memorable role. And it's just sad because obviously he was still young, like it wasn't like he died of old age or anything. And
a lot of demons on that one.
I know. I was trying to not like research like what happened or whatever, but I heard he was kind of battling some issues, some things I don't want to air, dirty laundry or whatnot, but he was kind of airing some, or not airing, he was kind of battling some demons of his own. So I hope whatever is going on right now, that I hope he's in a better place.
Yeah, I hope that, well, along with, anyone in those situations or that situation, it's just you hope that, they're finally able to find some peace. I know some of the struggles that he has struggled with throughout his life. I struggled with a lot myself. So it's, stuff like that hits really close to home. And it's something that I understand all too well. Yep. Those habits and those mindsets and stuff. But it's always a sad experience, and just always, hope the best for them and their family in the recovery and grief. Mm-hmm. But it, crazy. I think we're waiting back on the toxicology, but another one taken just way too soon. Taken way too soon. 100%.
I'm only reading this in chat. Amber is the agenda. Are you thinking of for Nature for New World? Sorry, back to New World.
Yeah.
Is it Amber?
Amber's. Yep.
Thank you, Honey Mocha, in chat for reminding
us. Love you.
But man, another topic that this is kind of off the wall, but just do you ever spend hours just scrolling on like either social media or just YouTube or just any social media platform?
I'm a middle-aged antisocial man. Yes. I find myself on the couch very often, scanning several shows, services. Websites.
Whoa! I heard that.
Nope.
Are you a fan of Netflix?
I've heard of it, and then I've heard of what is it, the Netflix and chill. I like that.
Yeah. So I was scrolling and they're just kind of going over some of like the most watched shows on Netflix, right? And I was actually taken back because I'm like, oh, I've actually seen these. Nice. But the top 3 most watched like shows on Netflix is in this order. Number 1 was Squid Game, 2 was Wednesday, and 3 was the Stranger Things series. Have you seen any of those?
I've seen 2 out of the 3. I have not seen Squid Games yet. We have not watched Squid Games.
They're doing a season 2. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean the first season. I mean, what an absolute. It just blew up like crazy. It was just one of those things. And then Mr. Beast had his like Squid Games thing, and there's just so much going on with it. The other 2 I'm huge fans of. Wednesday, Stranger Things. Wednesday was one of those where I remember talking to Dog Mom and being like, is this going to be like a tween drama? Because if this is like a tween drama, like not really my thing, not really what I'm into. Yep. But I mean, we're older. I mean, Addams Family's been around forever, dude. It was one of those classic childhood. I think remember the original Addams Family movie with Christopher Lloyd, Uncle Fester and stuff, dude. It's just love the series. And with that being said, I really love the direction they went with it. I really, really loved season 1. I think Jenna Ortega did a great job with the character. I think the whole
100%.
ensemble was fantastic.
100%.
And how it all summed up at the end, and especially the ode to the classic movies and stuff with one of the teachers.
Yep.
Was just like, and I called it. I was like, there's something special about this one, man. And wow, have people grown up? I didn't recognize. I did not really recognize them at first.
When that show,
without spoilers, I'm trying not to spoil anything. So I'm being
When that show, I saw a trailer for it and they advertised it and all of that. I'm like, really? Have we gotten so like scraping the bottom of the barrel, just trying to come up with ideas for TV shows?
Shit anymore, dude. Everything's rehash.
So I'm like, okay, whatever. So I watched like the first couple episodes just to see what it's about and give it a chance. But I got hooked. And Jenna Ortega did a great job. The spin on the whole Addams family.
We watched it all a couple days, man. But talking about all the everything's reruns, let's look. I mean, it's December. It's Halloween. It's scary, or not December, October. It's Halloween. It's scary time. All like the big movies out right now. You have The Exorcist, like Redeliverance or whatever. So like they're kind of a prequel to The Exorcist is something is coming out again. They just had a prequel to like Pet Sematary come out. Like it seems like everything is just I think there was even like a new Children of the Corn remake or something recently. It's like, come on, man. Like there's definitely been a lack of, I feel like, of original ideas lately.
Well, yeah, because
seems to be let's just remake this, remake that.
Aren't they on like Scream 75 now for the movies?
Something like that. And speaking of, one of the most recent ones, they just kind of redid The Grudge. I don't know, did you ever watch the originals back in like the early 2000s?
Well, they're like
the original, that like really long hair. Dude, the original ones from the early 2000s were creepy, dude. We rewatched the one back then with, what was it, Sarah Michelle Gellar or whatever her name. Dude, creepy. We watched the remake that came out like a year or two ago, just the other day. Garbage. Yeah. I was so disappointed in it. So, movies do better.
I know. What about Stranger Things?
Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it.
The last season coming up.
This is like series finale.
It's done. Yeah.
Those kids will have aged 10 years and 3 years. Right. They're gonna go from being like 6 to 15, but it's all gonna take place in like a 4-year span. It's like,
so true.
And Billy, so man, true. I'm still upset about Billy. I don't want to talk about it.
You stop
talk about it. Dude, but if he just would have rode his bike for 5 more fucking minutes, dude. Am I the only one that thinks that right now? Am I the only one that fucking...
To be fair, that rock scene was probably the best scene I've ever seen in a TV show in my life.
Did you see his
I got so pumped.
React type stuff? Like that he was talking about how much he practiced that song. Like, and that's actually him fucking playing it, dude.
Yeah. Like when that scene happened, I'm like, oh my God, my blood is flowing right now.
Oh, dude,
it was amazing.
Yeah, the blood is in it, and it's not going up here, and it's not going up
definitely
here.
Not.
No. Yeah. Oh, Billy, I'm so mad.
Yes.
And then now everyone's wearing Hellfire Club t-shirts, dude. It's
What the? Well, I'll say, how do you think it's gonna end? Like, somebody has to die, right? Like, is Eleven gonna die? Is her boyfriend gonna die? The older brother, long shaggy hair. I forget their names now.
Honestly, I do not see a way through this with 11 surviving.
Okay, like she's gonna have to sacrifice herself to like fully close the rift.
Close the door, the portal, the opening, whatever you want to call it, to the upside. I still can't have lights flicker, or I can't even open the fridge. And if the fridge flickers, I'm like, the upside down world. I can't do it. There was one day at the grocery store. It was like 5 a.m. We're like putting shit away, getting truck in, and literally the coolers flickered. And all of us stopped and looked at each other, and we're like, it's the upside down, man. The Demogorgons are coming out. I don't like it, dude. I'm scared. But it's what a great show, man. I absolutely love it. And was it David? Is it Harbinger?
Yes.
The dad, so. Like the cop or whatever, dude. Fucking like all of them are great. Winona Ryder, dude, fucking great. I love that show. I really love that show.
Yeah. But anything else, man? Like just on your mind?
Story. Yeah.
Dude, anything else
We
on
need
your
to we
mind,
need to
bro?
learn that and do a duet on one of these. It's gonna be fantastic.
So, thinking for the podcast ideas, right? We got to
Okay.
spice them up a little bit. We got to do different segments, different things. So, we obviously got to bring in some type of karaoke night.
Oh, okay. All right.
You
All
know,
right. Yeah, I don't
right?
save my VODs. We're good.
I mean, I don't
I
put
can
it on
do
YouTube
whatever.
or anything.
We can go after Metallica.
It's not gonna go on Spotify here eventually anyway. Like whatever.
I mean, no.
What?
What?
Dude, our podcast is
Are we
going
on
to
Spotify now?
we're going to be.
We're gonna have Spotify.
And we're gonna make millions. Literally
100%.
millions. And then
I
we'll
just
be able to
asked for-
quit our job.
I just need 10%. Just give me 10%.
Are we gonna have to change? Are we gonna have to change the name of the podcast, like the No Pants Podcast or something?
I don't know. That we'll worry about that later.
We're gonna have to rebrand at some point.
Something. The Yellow Headband Club. I don't know.
Oh, this is orange. What are you talking about?
I see it as yellow. That's yellow. Chat. What is it?
Definitely orange. I'll pull up a yellow one and show you right here.
Oh, okay,
See?
fine. You
Boom.
win. Shut up. I hate it here.
All right, man. It's time for some community questions.
Ooh, here we go.
Community questions. And if you guys have anything in chat currently, if you want to post them in chat, we'll go ahead and answer them as well. This question was posted in multiple different segments. I'm going to try to combine it into one question.
Okay. All right.
And obviously it's perfect because we have not talked about it yet. And it's the theme of the whole day. Halloween.
Candy.
What was your plans today for Halloween? Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween. Congratulations.
What was your plans?
New World.
That's all you did.
And I've been doing New World. I paid rent. I paid
Oh, okay.
rent.
That's
That was
scary.
good.
So that fits on
That was-
Halloween.
we had to do that. We had to do that.
Yeah.
But
Did you get trick or treaters or?
no, we didn't do that. We're hiding inside. We shuttered the doors. We hit the panic button. We're in the panic room right now. We're not dealing with kids.
So
Is the wife up there dealing with trick or treaters tonight? Or did you guys already have it there to come and go?
We had it last night. So we had our beggars night, whatever, last night, and wife and I and our two kids, we walked out with the neighbors that kind of live behind us. We walked around with their family and just kind of did that whole thing. Also, my kids dressed up as Michelangelo. I stole his mask and I wore it earlier on stream today. So he went as Michelangelo. My daughter went as Elsa. Little Elsa costume from Frozen. And wife did
worst Ninja Turtle.
You stop it. He's literally the best. All right, I will ban you off your own podcast.
Raphael, do it. It's your podcast. I'm just here, bro.
I will ban you from my podcast.
I will ban you.
So wife didn't dress up. I put on a bunch of 49ers gear and I went as choke artists.
Nice.
I feel like it's fitting because our 3-game losing streak.
Yeah. You guys are not doing well.
I went as choke artists wearing Niners gear. But so another thing, so you may not have the answer to this next question, but I'll be able to share mine. Did you happen to see any trick-or-treaters? Like, was there the coolest costumes that you've seen? Anything that kind of stuck out to you?
Not that I had seen. Now they're at the grocery store I work at nearby. I guess at one of the establishments they did have like a trick or treat fest or something. So there was actually quite a few parents and kids that came into the grocery store in costumes. Saw a lot of princesses and stuff. Yep. But my favorite kind of Halloween time was there was this kid came in with his parents and stuff, and he was a pirate. And I was like, "Yar, welcome in." And he walked up and was like, "Do you know what a pirate's favorite letter be?" And I was like, "Dude, I fucking know this one 100%." I'm like, "Of course I know." I'm like, pirate's favorite letter is R. And he goes, "Oh no, a pirate's first love be the sea."
Oh,
like, you know what? Touche, little dude, man. Touche, little dude. And I'll never forget that. I will never fucking forget that, dude. That was one of the best. I thought for sure. I was like, "Oh, of course I know this dude."
Everybody knows that.
It's like, nah, man. A pirate's first love be the sea.
I've never heard that before.
I know, dude. It was great. I was like, this is one of the best things I've ever heard in my life.
Anytime I've ever heard that joke, it's always been the R.
Yeah, right.
God, I'm gonna use that.
They do love R, but it's first love be the sea.
I'm gonna use that now.
Yeah, use that. I was gonna say you can use that in class tomorrow, but I was like, well, Halloween's over, Dead
No one will
game.
know.
Dead game.
No one will
Dead
know.
game.
But yeah, so when we were going out trick or treating yesterday,
Uh-huh.
I think the coolest like costume that I saw, like my favorite costume that I saw, was this family of 6 reenacted and created the Oregon Trail.
Uh-huh.
Like the stroller looked like an old covered wagon, right? The dad
Right.
was carrying, I swear to Christ, their dad was carrying like a billboard printed off of like the video game that said Oregon Trail. You know what I
Oh my
mean?
God,
Like
dude.
was
I
wearing
love
that
that
as like
game.
the background. He was pushing the I think one of their youngest kids had like a bison or buffalo looking costume.
Right.
The mom was in an old like headdress, for like
The
the so
amount of times I've died of dysentery in that game, dude. Like, why don't they make
yes.
Oxyoke stronger, dude? Come on. When are they gonna
Amen.
learn? When are they
Oh,
gonna learn?
yeah, but yeah, I think that was probably the coolest or like my most favorite costume that I saw out last night. It was like I said,
Right?
a
Oh,
family
that's
of
so
6
cool.
just went out all out on like an Oregon Trail scene.
I did God, I did see a video, and I don't know again whether it was like a viral thing or if it was somebody that somebody I knows. But anyway, he dressed up as from God of War, what is it? Kratos.
Oh
And it
yeah,
was
yeah.
literally like this 6'8" behemoth of a dude, and he was in like a Target, and he was just like walking up, just like shoving all this stuff into the shopping cart, and then he doesn't push the shopping cart; he just grabs it, picks it up, the whole cart, and walks away with it because he's just this
Yeah.
behemoth of a man. I might try to find it
Yeah.
on online and show you or like send you a link to it. It was one of the funniest things I've ever seen, dude, because he had to have been 6'8", 6'9" of
Oh
just
sure.
pure shredded muscle, dude. Like he looked exactly like Kratos, and I was like, "Oh my god, dude, that is awesome. That
Awesome.
is awesome."
One of the houses that we walked past had 2 different like bowls that they were handing stuff out. One, and it
Uh-huh.
was even labeled. So like kid trick or treats, and there's a bunch of bowl of candy. Adult trick or treats, they were literally handing out beer, like cans of beer.
Oh my god.
That like parents could just go up and grab a can of beer if they wanted. It was Bush Light, but still, I'm like, whatever.
Now, while we're kind of on the subject and stuff like that, and it's something I was thinking about bringing up. How do you feel about like different age groups and trick or treating? Like, do you feel like how do you feel about like 20, 30, 40? Like, how do you feel about someone other than like, they're like, 5 to
Yeah.
15? Like, what do you think about
I
adult trick or treating? Like that brings up a good point. Like, with I suppose if there was like a community thing like that, like
yeah.
I think that's a really cool kind of little niche like that, where it's like, the kids get some candy, the parents get,
Go
get
grab a
get a
beer.
beer
Yeah.
or something, or
I
or if you had like the little like shot glasses or something, like those little shooters,
Yep, yeah. Honestly, and it might be old school thinking of me, but I
Right?
think even high schoolers are too old to trick or treat. Like I feel like the whole premise of like trick or treating are for the kids at this point. Now, maybe not, right? But just in my mentality, like how I
Yeah.
view it, it's like high school is even too old for me to go trick or treating.
Right?
It's for the kids. Now, I could have that probably skewed mentality because I am a father and I have kids. So it's like, no, trick or treating's for them. They get a kick out of it. They get a joy out of it. You know what I mean? Like
Uh-huh.
parents can still dress up or adults can still dress up and have fun. Like go to the neighbors, like have a beer with each other.
Right? Right?
But like actually going house to house to get candy from people, I'm like, you're an adult. Go buy a
Yeah,
bag of
I
candy.
feel like, yeah, but I guess I'm kind of I agree for the most part, but for me, I'm like, I guess I don't really think it should be stigmatized like
Sure,
that,
sure.
for the most part with those people, in my personal opinion. But I do feel like it's kind of one of those things where it's totally appropriate for kids, and then it's kind of weird as you're, kind of middle aged. But my mother in her late 60s, early 70s, her and her coffee group, like one year dressed up as witches and went trick or treating around the neighborhood.
Uh-huh.
And I do feel like at some point, like if I saw a couple of like college age kids or like 20-year-olds come to my house trick or treating, I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing, punks? Like, I don't know.
Right.
I would feel that. But like if a bunch of like 80-year-old ladies came up to my door dressed up as like fairies and like trick or treat, I'd be like, dude, you're getting all my candy, dude. I fucking love it, bro. Like, I know that's where me personally, where it's like I feel like it's
Yeah.
acceptable, it gets fucking weird, and then it just gets awesome, you know? Like I
Right.
do feel like it gets a
Right.
point where it's just like kudos for living your best life, you
Well, and it's
know?
it's different too. Like if you knew your neighbors, you're friends with your neighbors,
Yeah,
and you went
yeah.
trick or treating because you're friends, you know,
And
like
it
okay,
was like
whatever.
their kind of, you know, couple block neighborhood.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it was just one of those where it's just like I don't know, if I saw a bunch of old ladies or old men coming dressed up in costume on my doorstep, dude, I'd be so happy.
I
I'd be
guess
so happy.
I guess my biggest thing that I'm having now, because I feel like a lot of people with around Halloween and trick or treating, is they just leave like bowls of candy out on their front step because they go around trick or treating, right? So it's like you just kind of go up and just grab your own. Like so many houses now just leave a bowl out and they're like, hey, just grab one and go, type of thing.
How do they know
And
that it's not just two kids that take everything?
well, but that's what I was about to get at is there are some
I got trust issues, bro.
there are some punks that do that, and like there are so many. Like I'm in like a neighborhood, like because I have a Ring camera, so there's like
Uh-huh.
there's like a neighborhood. You get like notifications of like all
Yeah,
Ring
yeah, yeah.
notifications kind of in your neighborhood.
Uh-huh.
There's been a couple posts in
Has
there,
it captured aliens yet? That's what I want to know.
not that I've seen,
Not that you've seen. Okay.
but yeah. So like there have been a couple posts in there where it literally shows punk kids just taking literal massive handfuls,
Yeah, yeah.
and I'm like, stop ruining the spirit. You
Yeah,
know,
100%, 100%.
like,
And I
jeez.
wish I could say that made up less than half of the population, but I don't
You
think
never
so.
know. Yeah.
So it's like I don't think any way I would set a bowl out like that and then trust that kids
Well,
would just no, dude, they'd grab whatever
yeah.
they wanted.
Yeah.
I mean, I
We
work at a grocery store. I see it all the time, bro.
we did it last year and it worked out fine. We still have some candy left over at the end of the night. Last night we did it. We did a bowl of candy, a bag of candy, and then a bag of like not candy at all, but just like they're like skeletons, but like little
Uh-huh.
stretchy, like just like little toys,
Uh-huh.
So the bag of like toy like stretchy things, both of them completely empty by the time we got home.
Ooh, do you have any candy down there?
Well, I have my
I
kids'
think before
candy
this
and I'm
I
gonna
think
eat it.
before this podcast is over, I think we should cheers a candy, a little candy treat
Oh,
for Halloween before
I'll have
the
to
end of the
go.
podcast.
No, I'll have to go upstairs and get it.
I know I'm gonna have to yell at Dog Mom to go grab me a Reese's, but I was like, we'll have to cheers to a candy bar later.
Before we get to the last couple of community questions that we have, what's your favorite candy? What's your favorite candy?
Oh, you were like before we get to the end. I was like,
Oh, sorry, did I cut out? No, I was like,
you
before we
cut
get to the
out for a
last.
second. I was like, kept waiting for you to finish. I was like, what's going on?
No,
I'm just waiting for you to finish. I mean, it's nothing new to me.
nothing new. No.
Nothing new.
Yeah. So before we do the last couple community questions, what's your favorite candy?
So I'm a classic Kit Kat fan. Just classic, tried and true wafer, a little thin chocolate, draped in chocolate. I'm
Kit
a
Kat's mine.
I'm a
Yep.
huge like I fucking love Kit Kats, and everyone's like at all the candy bars, like that's the one. I do have to honorable mention. I'll have to say two. One, Take Five.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever had a Take Five. Oh my god, dude, they're
That's the pretzel one too, right?
yeah, it's
That
like
part
pretzel,
pretzel.
caramel,
Yeah.
nougat, chocolate. Like it's got like five different things. It's like
Yep.
I love you. It's like a Snickers with a pretzel in it too.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's amazing. And then Twix. But like I'm a classic Kit Kat. In fact, I have one or two little Kit Kats in my bag that a gentleman gave me from work that I will
Yeah.
be enjoying tonight.
Yeah. I would say Kit Kats are my favorite too. Right.
Yeah,
They're my
so
number
good.
one.
It's
And
amazing.
I would say not even honorable mention because I love it, but it's a candy that isn't liked by a lot of people, and I will eat the shit out of it when it's
Are
around.
you a Dots?
No, almond joys. Because some people don't like the coconuts.
How do I exit the conversation right now? Where's the Discord thing?
I like almond joys.
Hey, at least you
man.
didn't say a mounds. At least you didn't say fucking mounds. Okay,
Oh no,
we can
almond
still be
joy is better.
friends.
Yeah,
Yeah, fuck mounds. Fuck mounds.
but yeah, I'm a closet almond joy fan.
You know, I do enjoy a good almond cookie. I
Mhm.
do enjoy an almond cookie.
All right,
They're
ready
good.
for the last two community questions?
I think so.
This is continuing on with the Halloween theme, right, or the scary
Okay.
horror
All
theme.
right. All right.
What, in your opinion, would be a this comes from Asterrath, by the way.
I
Favorite
see that.
favorite scary game, or even like a game that has like Halloween themed events?
So there are two that I always like to play around the holiday season, and I actually did order some last year, thinking that maybe we'd end up playing them this October, but we didn't. One of my favorite scary series. I don't know if you ever played the Fear games.
Oh no, I know what you're
I'm
talking about
I'm
though.
huge into the Fear games. Incredible. And then Dead Space. Dead Space is another one I
Oh
usually would
yeah.
play in October. And I saw they did just have the remake on sale
Mhm.
recently, but I didn't end up getting it. I don't have time for a lot of other games right now. But I love the Dead Space games. They do everything so well,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
well. And
Yeah.
yourself? Do you have any like favorite games around the Halloween or favorite jump scare games at all?
I mean, a game that I could easily go back to at any time, not just during Halloween, is Dead by Daylight. Like,
Of course.
I like playing that game. I don't like. There's so many people that grind that game. I can't play it consistently like that.
Right.
But I do like going back to it every now and then and playing it. Getting a group
Exactly.
together, having some fun. So I like Dead by Daylight. GTFO. I played GTFO.
Yeah.
I
Do you
I
guys
kind of
just
count that
recently
as
beat that? Like, didn't you guys recently beat that?
well. There's levels, so all it is just like there's multiple levels to it. So we didn't fully beat the game, but we've beaten multiple levels in it. So there's different
Is there an
runs.
actual like end to the game?
There might be. I don't know because I'm not there.
Well, it's
But
like I don't know, one of
there
those where it's like
is.
infinitely repeating dungeons. Like you can literally go to infinity. You just keep doing like different levels, different like little harder.
And
I wasn't sure if it actually had a physical end because I mean games like Diablo
right,
and stuff, you can yeah, there's an end to the story, but there's not really an end to the game. You can
right.
keep doing over and over and about. I wasn't sure if there was just an infinite number of kind of levels you could go through.
From what I know from GTFO, that there is like you can beat all of the levels. So it's not like
hmm
so
There
there
is a
isn't.
finite
There
number of
is,
levels,
yes. You can go back and redo those levels if you want, but there
right?
is a certain amount of levels in each run, right? And then as you go through the levels, because there's like 7 different runs, which is our different
Right,
styles of, dungeons or whatever you may call them. And
right.
at the very end, it does kind of wrap up the theme or the storyline of that run,
Uh huh.
if that makes sense. But it
Yeah,
gets harder.
yeah.
It gets harder and harder as it goes on.
Right. Yeah. I've watched you guys play it. It looks absolutely crazy.
Yeah,
It looks
that's
absolutely crazy.
so it's definitely
And
scary. It's
somebody
fun.
somebody I know keeps setting everything off, and your teammates aren't ready for it.
Asta, stop that.
That's
But yeah, so I
that's
would
how.
I would probably say Dead by Daylight and GTFO are my two probably
Uh-huh.
just continual go-to games. I always like to try new ones. Like I did Alien Isolation last year during Halloween. Uh, the Fear Within is the Evil Within, excuse me, it was just free
Right.
on Epic. So I like to try different games, but I think the ones on repeat are Dead by Daylight and then GTFO for me for
Right.
the scary games.
Oh yeah, dude.
Uh
Dead by Daylight's really fun.
yep.
Are they adding any new killers, or didn't they just add like a new one recently?
Yeah, they did. And oh crap, what is? Don't ask me because I don't play it that often.
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
know they just did, but last community question I got for you. It comes from Easty J.
Okay.
I put this in here. This is a community question. I don't have. The question is from ECJ. What are some good recommendations for gaming on a budget, like $15 or less types of games? Right.
Right.
I don't know off the top of my head like a cheap game or a lot of games go on sale so you can get them at that price. You just have to wait for the
Right.
sale. I would say for gaming on a budget, your best option, Easty, if you're listening, is doing like a month subscription to like Game Pass because then you have tons of games to choose from.
Yeah, I think even with the console and PC version, is it at only $15 a month, and you
It's something
literally
like that.
have
Yeah.
yeah, because I think it's like $10 for the Xbox Game Pass, and I think it's like $5 more to get both. And yeah,
Mhm.
you literally have like 100, 200 games in so many different genres. I mean, Starfield's on there. That's a great point. I was thinking of like, well, I think like Phasmophobia and stuff is like
Yeah.
$20. There are a couple $20 games, but since you mentioned that, that is probably I mean, hands down, the biggest bang for your buck right there, whether you're on an Xbox or a PC. As I said, you play them on both, and there are quite a few games that are cross play
Mm-hmm.
as well. And if you have fast enough internet and all of that and a fast enough system, there is cloud gaming through that as well. So there's not even like downloads or storage necessary for some of that stuff, for some of those games. You can
Right.
just straight up hit play and just play them. I
Right.
love Xbox Game Pass
Yeah, and like I said,
so
that
much.
I couldn't really think of, like I said, like specific games, 'cause games go on sale all the time. But
Right,
obviously you'd have to do it per month. So if you can't do, $15 a
yeah,
month, I would just say wait for games to go on sale, because there's always Steam sales and things like that. But I think
right.
just if you're looking for budget-ish gaming, like I said, do a subscription service like that you get tons of different games to choose from.
Just go on. What was that? Google Stadia or something? What
Uh,
what died? Was that what it was?
yes, Google Stadia. Yeah,
That
I
no
haven't
one
heard
played and they
haven't heard of
like
that
they
in forever.
discontinued, dude. They
Yes.
tried.
Yes.
Oh,
Yep.
so sad. Gone
But
too soon.
there is one last question that just popped up, and a couple more, but we'll get to them next week. That popped up in Discord. And
Okay.
since you and I are both streamers, I figured we
Oh,
could
this is
touch.
on the spot right now. Oh
Right,
no,
it
dude.
is.
I
It
got no.
is.
Oh
It
man, dude.
is.
I had
Yes.
no preparation for this. Like I
But this
prepared
is
for
why
this night so
this is
much.
why I'm bringing it up, because
Okay.
it's a streamer related question, and we have a lot of experience with streaming, and especially this type of question.
It's
So I
been
figured
what,
it'd be
3 years that we've been doing it now?
right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Been a while.
So,
Been a
and
minute.
we've gone through a lot of ups and downs and turmoil, and kind of what this question will reference.
Okay.
You and I could speak to it probably pretty well. The question says, when you have no motivation to stream, how do you do it, and how do you regain the motivation to do it?
Oh, that's a great question.
Uh huh.
That is a great question. So, for me, a lot of times when I'm having those hard moments and I don't know if I'm feeling it or not or anything, it's always been the community. I'll always maybe go live with a few butterflies like in my stomach or like I don't know if I'm really feeling this, but I don't know whether it's something like the community can just feel the energy through the ethernet. Like I don't know, it's just sometimes it has a way of just turning around.
Hmm.
But if it's one thing, if you're just if I personally am just not really feeling it and I just know that I'm not in the mood to put on that face or anything. It's okay to not stream as well, and that's fine. You know, I suffer from social anxiety issues. I was just talking about this earlier today. But it's one where it's like I just always try to not let those feelings and those circumstances own me personally, so I'm able to really help push through that. I hate you, dog mom. Is that dog mom? I hate you, dog mom. I totally did not turn sound alerts off or something. I'm still learning how to do some of that. I think it's getting naughty in here. But how do you push past it? It's just I don't for me personally, it's just something I've always really been able to do. With my social anxiety and other issues, I've never tried to let it define me, and so I like putting myself in
Hmm.
circumstances personally that helps me push past my comfort zone
Sure.
because if I let it own me, then it owns me and it doesn't help me push past it at all. It doesn't help me get over it. And um this is fun for me and I think of it like I'm in an Xbox party chat and it's like it's not like I have a bunch of people physically in the room with me. I'm not really, really like staring off into the webcam and getting all intense. It's just it's a fun relaxing experience for me for the most part.
Right.
But I do have days that I just haven't felt like streaming, and in those days, it's okay to cancel streams and just to not do it.
Right.
That's fine. Yourself? Do you have any like special things, any voodoo rituals before stream?
I just pound lots of alcohol and then just hit go live.
Yeah. I just I find ways to medicate.
No, I would say, because I've even had this conversation with you multiple times. I've had a conversation with my good friend Dyslexic Octopi. I've done lots of conversation with this. That there's times, multiple times, where I'm on the verge of like canceling stream 5 minutes before I'm supposed to go live.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm just
right.
like, I'm not really feeling it. I just don't do it. You know what I mean? And
Hmm.
and so part of the two-part question that they asked is even if you haven't streamed for a while, how do you get motivation to like bring yourself back into it? My my whole kind of thought process is like I like to play a lot of games with people, but I
Right.
think that if you need to kind of find that, just get your foot in the door, find that motivation to get you started, right? What is the difference? And this is the kind of question that I pose, like a rhetorical question. What is
Yeah.
the difference of you sitting down playing video games for 3 hours at a time and you sitting down playing 3 hours, playing video games for 3 hours at a time while live? Like
You
what?
know, for
All you have to do is just hit a button, go
yeah,
live, and you can still do the exact same thing that you were going to do.
right.
But because you hit that live button, you're there immediately, and you have to engage in it. And you kind of
Right.
like you were saying, you have to
Yeah.
kind of put yourself out there, and you kind of have to force yourself to be like, well, I want to do this, so now I'm making myself do
You know,
this.
this is something I know, and again, we've had these conversations, and I know this is stuff we felt before. And anyone that's tried to chase the streaming, it's something they've always done. It's like, what do I stream tonight?
Mm-hmm.
What's hitting? What do I think I'm going to get the viewership on? Like, do I do this or that?
Uh-huh.
And one thing that has really helped me, especially over this last year, is play what you want to play.
Yep.
For myself personally, um, I really only play games that I feel like playing, and that's one thing that I don't really make a schedule because I might plan to play Phasmophobia next week or play something next week, but I just might get to that day and not really be into it, and then I don't want to feel forced and obligated to play a game that I'm not excited about.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the other thing that really helps me is not only is it a game that I'm like super into, and this is just a game that I want to play, regardless of whether it has, two people viewing it in the entire category or 100,000, you know, play what you're going to enjoy. If you're having a good time, people in with you are going to be having a good time.
Uh-huh.
Um, and I always have some sort of like itinerary where it's like, Diablo, where it's like, okay, right now I'm farming for these uniques, and so it's like it's not so much like I am just going into it waiting for people to come in and talk to me and have that kind of like somewhat seem like the focus of my content, where I usually will go in like, tonight it's like Tuesday, it's expedition time, that it's like I'm going to be doing this shit anyway.
Uh-huh.
And so that's where it's like for me it's really easy to hit that go live button because it's something I'm going to be doing anyway. And talking to people in chat is just like me talking in like an Xbox Live Party chat, a Discord chat. It's
Right.
just me chilling with my homies playing some video games.
Right.
But for me, it's really helped to one, play games that I want to play, and two, have a goal in that game that I'm actively like striving for and excited about. And those two things are what really help me carry me, through the games day in, day out. But the honorable mention thing number three is I've said this and I'll say it again, to make it as long as we have, 3 years
Yeah.
on this platform through the ups and downs. Like, you really have to enjoy what you do, regardless of who's in the chat watching you or interacting with you. It's just
Yep.
something that I just love to do. And so, there are days that, yeah, I don't want to hit that live button, and sometimes I don't. But
Dude, honestly, man, like what you were saying, that like I agree with all of that, and like you're saying, how we've been doing it for so long, we've been doing it for going on three
right,
years now, that it's streaming to me now because I'm a full time teacher during the day.
right.
I'm married with two kids,
Yeah, we both have
so
full time.
full
Yeah,
time.
you got the
So
kids, but yeah,
so it's like I have these full time aspects that like streaming is honestly like an escape for me. Like I can put on this persona, I can put on this entertainment, this act, this distraction from
right.
stressful kids, stressful work, like whatever it may be.
Yeah,
I can
yeah,
just come here, I can be silly, I can be goofy, I can just do whatever, play video games and just
exactly.
have a few hours to myself. Yeah, to myself. Like yes, I'm talking with
Right.
people and yes, I have chat,
Yeah,
but in this room right now is literally just me, you
yeah,
know? And it's like I control the noise that I'm listening to. I'm controlling
exactly.
like what, so it's just kind of more of an escape for me right now
Yeah. Oh, and
into the
another great
streaming
thing
world.
is I love it that you can always end stream. Like, I love that. I've always been a person, especially with social anxiety, and part of the reason some of the times my worst anxiety is when I don't have an easy escape plan. And that's a
Uh-huh.
great thing about this is I'm like, I don't have to be here. And for me to escape everything that's going on, all I need to do is hit the end stream button
Yep.
and
Yep.
everything goes away.
Yep.
And that's always really nice too, that it doesn't have to be that way. But we just really love what we do, and again, it's a passion. We have full-time jobs. We have so many commitments outside of this, but
Mm-hmm.
yet we still find time to consistently stream, 2, 3, 4 nights a week.
Mm-hmm.
And we do what we can because
Yep.
it's something we honestly love at the end of the day, and that's what really helps survive over the course of time, because it's just like any kind of music industry,
Yep.
any kind of video industry. You just try to be around long enough to catch a big break. There's so many amazing content creators out there, and it's just being around long enough to hopefully be seen and have that
Yep.
moment.
Last thing,
But
make sure you kind of have a schedule, man. Start at like 2 days a week. Because here's the thing, if you know, okay, I want to do Tuesday, Thursdays, right? Every week I want to stream Tuesday, Thursdays.
yeah.
You literally have the other 5 days to like prepare yourself or to like get in the mental mindset like I'm gonna do. If you're
Mhm.
like, if you don't set yourself knowing, hey, I'm going to go live Tuesday, Thursday, and it's just, oh, I'm gonna hit live, you're never gonna hit live. Because then you're gonna come day of and you're like, oh no, I'll do it tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes, and you're like, I don't know, I'll do it tomorrow, right? But if you know that your schedule is Tuesday, Thursdays, you're telling yourself in your mind, hey, when Tuesday comes, I'm gonna do this.
Right.
So
Well,
that's what
I don't know if you were anything like me as well. Like, streaming was something I was always interested in for a really long time, but I didn't realize just how much went into it.
it does. Yep. Yep.
It was like oh shit, you just plug in a webcam and you play some fucking video games on a
Not
stream. Like, how
anymore.
hard can that be? And then you all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, no, dude, this is like a TV show. This is like a broadcast, man. This shit's legit with overlays and scenes and like, yeah, I got the green screen and some of this new stuff, but I just remember thinking, I was like, fuck, it's gonna take me probably about an hour or two to set all this up and fine tune it and go through all the OBS shit. The
Yeah,
fucking thing,
I get
man.
it. I get it.
It's just like it can be so daunting that it's like you want to get some of this new stuff, but then it's like, fuck, then I have to do this and then I have to do that.
Yeah.
And then I was going through fine tuning saturations and all these other things and
Yes. Yeah.
moving the backdrop. And it just was like, sometimes people just
Yeah.
don't realize what actually goes in behind the scenes to do these broadcasts.
Right. I get it, man. I get it. And turning off the numbers too. Like, don't worry
Oh,
about who's in there.
clutch,
Like,
clutch.
because again, if you're streaming to be successful, like Tim the Tap Man, Dr. Disrespect, all of them, they didn't start out with thousands and thousands of viewers.
Yeah.
They started out with maybe a handful of their friends, and that was it.
Yeah.
It's like
Like
you just
pretty much
you just,
everyone.
you just got to go and like play the game, right? That you are going to play anyway.
Yeah.
Just hit live. I think when I first started, I probably had Crit City J and maybe Silver Bullet at the time. Like that was like my only viewers for the longest time.
Yeah, it was Dog Mom and I think my little brother and his wife.
And the more you do
you
it,
know?
the more you do it, the more you get people to stick around, the more you get people to come back. Because if you go live once and then don't go live again for 3 more weeks, are they going to really keep like coming back? You got to
Right.
set your
And
schedule and be like, hey, I'll see you
that's
next
the big thing
Tuesday.
is just consistency.
Yep.
It's one of those things where you just have to, and even if it's just one day a week for 2 or 3 hours,
Yep.
like it's just to be consistent, to be available
Right.
like that. It's been such a great journey. It was one thing where I was fortunate from the minute I hit go live. I've absolutely, pretty much loved the journey. It's every once in a while it's hard, of course you're going to get in your head and start comparing yourself to other streamers, but
Right.
that's an inevitable fact you got to do, but you just got to be happy with what you're doing, man, and just
Absolutely.
whether you have one person or 100 people.
Absolutely. Words of wisdom right there,
do your thing.
friends.
Yeah. It's incredible.
But-
Yeah, I never look at any of my stats.
Yeah. But Smitty, I got to cut you off, man. We got to get to New World tonight.
Yeah.
We got to get into
That was a good
expeditions.
podcast. That was a good hour, man. We did good
Absolutely.
tonight.
Absolutely.
That was some really good. I like those conversations. That was fun. We hit some good stuff.
Yeah.
That was grade A quality content, people.
That was all thanks to you too, chat, with the community questions. So in our
Thank you.
Discord on YouTube, Schmitty32s or Mr. J Gilberts, man, be sure to post your community questions. Even hit us up on Twitter, tag us, and we'll be able to answer those community questions on stream every Tuesday
100%.
here for the After Hours podcast. This is episode 2, and we appreciate you being here. Schmitty,
Thank you all so much.
want to send us off with a goodbye? Like, do you want to say goodbye to the people?
Bye.
Man of little words. We'll see you next. We'll see you next Tuesday, 9:00 p.m. Central Time, on episode 3 of the After Hours Podcast.